Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're back here at the winter layout. We're going to do a little bit more work on it. I'm going to update you and show you the work I got done over the weekend. But first off, scroll in here will be my channel members. Do check out their channels, and as always, thank you very much for their support. So as you can see here, I've done a little bit more work now. I've added a lot more snow scatter to the road, the rails, even on top of the telegraph poles. I've put some greenery in here now, and I'm going to go over this shortly, add a bit more snow to that. Over this side, I've put the houses in place, well, the shop fronts in place. Also added a little Christmas tree. I'll put some shots in here now of this at night with the lights on so you can see how it looks. Also added a roof to the signal box here, so that's on. So now we have to do more snow techniques here. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Put some snow on the greenery, put a bit more greenery in as well. Once I've got all that done, I can put the viaduct back in place, take away this covering, and then blend everything into the water seam. I'm going to show you now how I put the snow on. So take some glue. I'm just using some Mod Podge for this. Use a paintbrush and just paint it on. So I'm just putting a layer of glue on. You could use a spray glue as well, but you'd have to be more careful that you don't get any overspray onto places you don't want it. So it's probably easier just to use a white glue like this and paint it on. So put the glue wherever you want the snow to stick, and you can put a little bit around the base as well, so some of it will stick up the lamppost. So obviously you would get snow accumulations around there. And I'm just going to hold a little station halt in place. And then you want some glue in the inside because obviously snow is going to blow in there. Back, and this will have two purposes. The glue will obviously hold the snow in place and also keep the station halt in place. Also, what I want to do is put a little bit of glue around the tops of the lamps. Obviously there'll be a snow accumulation on there. Some might argue that the heat of the lamps would melt the snow, but I think it just gives a little effect. Put the glue to one side so you don't knock it over. And taking your snowflake. So this is the Woodland Scenic Soft Flake Snow. And using an old tea strainer, put that in the strainer. And then it's just a case of sprinkling it on, just like icing a cake. Get some on top of the lamps as well. I'm going to lift this out of the way. Obviously it's only going to stick where the glue is. And we can just leave that to dry. And because this is going to be more of a trafficked area, so the snow won't have a chance to accumulate on there, I'm going to let that dry, then I can vacuum off and the snow won't appear as thick on there, and I can put the platform halt back in place as well. And obviously on the buildings over here, I'm going to have a thicker accumulation on the buildings, on the roofs. I'll just show you up here. So what I have to think of now is where would snow lie? So it's going to obviously be on the roofs, these ledges here, on top of the signs, on top of this little wall along here, on the roofs of the signal box and all the buildings. You're going to get little ridges of snow around the edges where it gets ploughed out of the way. So it's all something to think of. You know, you're going to get little bits of snow on the window ledges here, so it's going to be a case of putting a little bit of glue on there and then using a spoon or some flat surface just to get a little bit of snow on there so it sticks. And you just have to think about that. Where would the snow sit? Likewise, I have done there in front of the signal box. If you can see on top of the signal, or even some snow on there. Again, people argue that the signal would actually have a bit of heat in it and the snow would melt on the top, but hey, this is a Christmas model railway stroke diorama, so I'm going to do that. What I'm going to do now is with these little bits of green patches, they've been mostly glued in place with PVA, so I'm going to take some of the static grass layering spray just as an adhesive. I'll just use this one here, so I'm just going to gently spray it, and again take some of the snow and just put a dusting over it, just so it gives the effect of a little bit of snow on there, and as well as that you still have a little bit of greenery which helps break up the whole white area. So I'm going to carry on, do that with the rest of them. Then what I'll do is when I'm happy and all the snow is in place and everything is done, I will go back over it with a gentle dusting spray of scenic cement. So that'll go over the whole area so everything gets covered, and that will keep everything in place. So I'm going to carry on, do all that work now. When I have it all done, you'll come back and see the end result. There we go, everything's had a dusting of snow. You can see how I've added it to the windowsills, on the roofs, chimneys, everything like that. So everything's got a good covering. You also see there how I've put tracks in the road, so you can see where the vehicles have gone. I put some extra snow on the van here as well, on the roof and the sides, on the windscreen. And it's the same down this end. Snow scatter on everything. And the whole area has been sprayed with the scenic cement. So that's drying now, so that should lock everything in place. I've taken away the covering here from the waterfall and the river scene. So now I just need to blend in these edges, and then I'll put the viaduct in place with the walls and everything, and that should be it more or less complete then. Got trees of course to put around the place as well. I'm leaving that to last because those are the kind of things you can knock and pull out when you're working on the layout, so leave them to last. And then I just need to put a fascia on the front to tidy it up, paint it black, and that should be it done. So I'm going to just blend these areas in. Basically I'm just going to put a little bit of PVA or Mod Podge along here, sprinkle snow on it to blend it all in, give it a rough edge so it's not a straight line, and that'll help blend it all in. And then I'll put the viaduct in place. So I'll do this a little bit first, and then I'll show you how it looks. And here we are. It's more or less complete. All the dustings of snow are done. I've even put some trees in, the viaducts in. So I think it's all done. Nothing to be left to do now is fascias on the end and buffer stops on either end. And you can see there where I put the snow around on the ledges there. And you can see here where the milky water does look like ice with snow sitting on top of it. And we got the waterfalls in the back. So I think that's turned out quite well. So I'll have this on display in the museum over the Christmas period. As I say, I'll get the fascias done now over this weekend and get the buffer stops on, and also have to tidy up this mess that's all around here behind me. So there we go, one winter layout. So there we go, one winter layout, almost complete. As I say, I just have a few little bits and pieces done, the fascia and the buffer stops, and that'll be it done. So if you've got this far in the video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. If you've got any questions or any comments on this, put it in the comment section down below. I love getting feedback from you guys and what you all think. And as always, a big shout out and thank you to my channel members for their support. If you'd like to become one, links are down below. I've also got Patreon if you want to join me on there. But do check out my channel members' channels. They're all linked down below. There'll be a couple of videos here for you to continue watching, and there's also a subscribe button. So as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.